It's Triple Crown here, Saturday, July 27th, 2024. You see Eric's holding up the 4, I'm holding up the 4, because it's day 4 of the 2024 National in Cleveland, Ohio. Back at the IX Center today after a 12-hour sleep the previous night. To say that I am refreshed and re-energized would probably be an understatement. I'm ready to go, though. This ended up being the best day of the 5 that I was there, at least in my opinion. Got some really cool stuff on the show floor, but the trade night afterwards was phenomenal. Not just in terms of my pickups, but in terms of everything really about it. I can't think of a single complaint I have about it. We'll get more into detail once we get to that. But a few points of business to settle on the show floor during show hours before we can get into that. With all that said, we have quite a bit to cover. Let's not waste any more time. I'm starting the day in one of the corners of the show near the 1, 2, and 300 aisle signs because I haven't really spent too much time over here. A lot of the dealers here have made a lot of deals probably, and means that there's probably some good turnover in their showcases. This particular dealer has some value boxes that seem to be pretty darn good because the foot traffic at them has been elbow to elbow every single time I have walked past this area. As much as I would love to dig into them myself, I'll take a rain check on that because elbow to elbow is not my ideal value box experience. However, they have some really high quality flagship and Topps Heritage cards in their showcases. Autographs, variations, numbered stuff, you name it. They probably have something that is it or close to it. And one of the cards that jumps out is, in my opinion, one of the best cards in this year's Heritage release. It doesn't have a price sticker on it. That makes me think that they may have just acquired it. Not many eyes have had a chance to see it yet. That to me screams opportunity. That's why I'm going to ask about this card, and if all goes right, if the price is pretty close to what I want, I'm going to have to make sure I walk away with this card. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. What are you asking on the Brett?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
Just bought it this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't remember seeing it the first time I walked past, but...
It's one of those I couldn't pass up. It's just too cool of a card.
Yeah. Without a doubt, a card at the top of many people's want list in this year's Heritage product is this George Brett Red Ink card that I am trying to negotiate for. The Red Ink Parallel is one of the most popular on the baseball side of the hobby that Topps puts out annually, something that they have done for over 2 decades now. And while they have used various images from players' past Topps cards before, including some popular Hall of Fame rookie cards, Brett is one of the most popular players they have ever given this treatment to here on his card that resembles his 75 Topps rookie. The most popular player in the history of his franchise, reimagined on this 2024 card with only a print run of 75, hand numbered there in the classic red ink. Now, I had a friend mention to me that you could go out and buy Brett's rookie card for much less than what this is being asked for at the show here, which is true. You could find a signed George Brett rookie for less than that, but there's definitely more than 75 of them out there, and with the pedigree that Heritage has in the hobby, this is definitely one of those cards that is well sought after. I showed this card to several Heritage collectors back when it came out. They showed it to me. There is a lot of buzz around this card, and the sales history on it definitely reflects that. That's why when I saw this, I had to ask about it. Now the goal is going to be try to bundle some things together to get down this cost, which is a very fair ask, again, if you look at the sales history on said card. Surveying his cases, the one card I find that I think is a prime card to add in as a bundle candidate would be this Joey Votto Heritage Gold Refractor. These are numbered to 5. This one's from 2017. He has a 150 price sticker on it, which I think is fair, but I'd ideally like to get it for a little bit less. My goal is going to be to try to work those 2 cards in together, and I'm also going to try some partial trade. Now, I don't think he's going to pick out anything that I have that would give cash on my side, nor do I really want that. I just want some cards that I'm into well to help offset the little bit of difference that we'll probably have on price. Lucky for me, he pulls out 2 Aaron Judge rookies, a PSA 10 Bowman Chrome, as well as a PSA 10 Topps Finest from 2017. Those cards I happen to be into at a pretty good clip, and therefore I think this is going to line up pretty well. Now the question is, how much cash is he going to want to get this thing done?
All right, ready for me to be really obnoxious.
Sure, go for it.
We could do like those two at $800. No, it didn't help you a lot for being clear.
All right. You have that's a gold Votto up there, right?
Yeah.
I would do those two at 800 if the Votto is secure.
Can't do it. I feel like I'm behind there.
I understand.
I mean, this card has not done less than $1,000 except like the very first sale. Like one just did $969, $1,100, and $1,000. I think are like the last three. So.
Right.
And I just got it. It'd be different if I've had it for a long time. I was like, get it out of here.
I understand. Yeah.
You know. And I bought that Votto yesterday too, so you picked out two cards that I've had for a minute.
Yeah, all right. Where would you be at? I wanted them both.
As far as like,
yeah, with those two involved.
I can do $1,000 for the pair.
Yeah,
Would you want to include those at all or no?
I mean, if I include these, I could do 8 for them.
Yeah, that was my offer, dude.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
All right.
I've lost my mind.
Me too.
Okay, so this was $200. I'm including that. Well, okay. Because if I'm trading, that's the problem. If I'm trading.
Yeah, you want a little bit more.
I need a little more. I mean, because I gotta have sticker basically. So let's say if I factor that in 100, I would do 850 with these two.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me get these out of your way. I could not be happier with how this turned out. I'm able to get that awesome Brett red ink, but it's also nothing to shake at when it comes to the gold refractor Joey Votto. I seldom come across those gold refractors at a price that makes sense for me. To get one of a guy who is still immensely popular back home in Cincinnati is definitely a huge plus. It happened to work out where he chose the two cards that I had the most flexibility on, and I'm sure they'll be pretty easy sales for him since I heard a lot of people asking for Judge stuff at this show. And a PSA 10 Chromium brand rookie, that's going to be in a lot of people's wheelhouses. Very glad we got this done. I felt good about it. I hope he did as well. Before we head over to trade night, there is some unfinished business I need to attend to. If you remember my day 2 Strongsville vlog, you might remember those green price stickers, and you may remember the card that I am about to ask about right now as the dealer pulls it out of the case.
I took a picture of those.
Can I see the Devers too, please?
Like, you know where this is, JT?
So which one?
Oh,
Oh, Devers. Yeah.
So he brought me over here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bookend. Oh, shit. I also wanted to take a look at this Devers in addition to the Volpe. I absolutely love the 2018 Independence Day Topps cards, one of the top 5 parallels they have ever done in my opinion, but being the bookend from Devers' rookie year probably is going to put that one out of my price range. On to what I came here for, the Volpe Blue Refractor. I didn't see this on Wednesday when I first walked past this booth, but I am getting more and more willing to cave in and pay the 10 techs on this card. Last time I was looking at it in Strongsville, Volpe was off to a torrid start. He has definitely not been as good since, but he's still a solid enough player where I'm interested in getting this card even if it means I have to pay up for a 10. The question is, how much is that going to be? Did you move down to 150 on it?
You could do 4. What did you say?
Did you get to 150 on it?
What did they sell for?
The last one was 162 that I saw at 10. Thank you. I'm not opposed to selling the PSA 10 of this card at a later stage if I happen to come across a raw copy that I can add to my Z Folio, but the most important part for me here is I finally own this card. It's off my list. I only need 2 more for the Blue Refractor set, Logan O'Hoppe and Bryce Harper. My quest for those 2 will continue, but this was definitely a good way to leave the show floor on Saturday afternoon. Now it's time to head downstairs for trade night. There's a lot of praise that I could give here for the spacing, the organization, the allowing people in and out to talk about in terms of the national trade night. But overall, I'm just going to say this was very well done by the National. I think that this is something that would be very welcomed in years to come based on my experience on Saturday night. Here's a brief overview of the floor, but big props to the National. They definitely got this right. What do you have on Pete?
He had a 160.
Did you have a Jose Ramirez?
Yeah, Jose Ramirez 35.
Ramirez, okay. What about Mays?
Days 170.
What'd you take 200 on the pair for Jose and Dominguez.
That's Ross. Did you take 200 for the Jason Dominguez and the Jose Ramirez? Yeah.
210.
Sure. I was really after this Jason Dominguez and wanted the Jose Ramirez as, I guess, a throw into the deal, but he had that priced at 180 or 190. I can't remember exactly which kind of immediately in my head I thought, man, that seems kind of cheap. And what I'm guessing is that he was basing it off of this PSA 9 sale that happened back in May for 180. He marked it up a little bit from there, but if you look at all the raw sales, this card definitely is going for more than that 180 mark. I don't think that raw should be less than 9, so I'll gladly take it at that price. I couldn't talk you into 150 for that, could I?
150?
Yeah. Thank you. Here's the Votto that I picked up with the Votto-matic patch window. It's from Triple Threads. These white whales are pretty much an annual fixture in Triple Threads, as is Votto autographs. I've had a few before, and I know generally what I've sold them in, being that 175 to 250 range. Really depends on what the patch window says and how nice the relics are. Sometimes if they're bat relics, they'll go for a little bit less. Sometimes if they're patches, they'll go for a little bit more. This one looks pretty cool. 160 was pretty close to what I wanted to pay. Decided not to try to bundle an offer 150, and he took it. So that was a quick and easy deal. Very pleased with that.
Feel free to look if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Oh boy. All right. I'm about to stumble across one of the coolest cards that I found here at Trade Night that this gentleman has in one of the 3 carrying cases that he brought with him. A lot of times when I'm in large settings like this where there is no possible way for me to get through everything, I'm really trying to go through people's cases quickly to find something that stands out and makes me go, whoa, that's a little bit different. Well, this one certainly fit the bill. That is a dual patch number 3 of Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. And yes, they are both game-used materials. The Griffey is the better patch, which I'm sure that's how most would prefer it, with part of the Mariner's compass. The Randy Johnson also has the little tip of the compass down there, but the Griffey patch is certainly the headliner here. He has a $200 price sticker on it, which, while not a screaming deal, I think that seems like a pretty good price, and he told me not to worry about the stickers, so I don't know if that's an old price, but I'm just going to ask him what he has on it once I finish building my stack. But now that I found that, who knows what else I'm going to find in here. Unfortunately, I had my camera in the wrong setting when I actually made an agreement on the deal, but I'll show you some more B-roll footage here of what was in this guy's various cases. I ended up pulling out a Mike Schmidt Triple Threads auto number to 27 in a PSA 10. If you know anything about Triple Threads, you'll know that is definitely not an easy set to gem out. Also, the Dale Murphy autograph I just set aside, that's numbered at a 2. I got that, the Schmidt, and then the dual patch card for an even $300. Very pleased with that. As soon as I posted up the Griffey Randy on my Instagram page, immediately got several messages talking about the quality of the patch and a lot of people looking to buy it. It was sold to the same buyer who got my Chad Johnson 101 Flawless patch. But some of those cool patches I have gotten a lot of hits on recently, so if you're looking for things that are hot right now, it's some of those patch cards really have been my best sellers. But that card was, I would have to say, my favorite pickup of the night from Trade Night.
650.
650.
Know where you at.
Okay.
Any interest in that? That's
Yeah.
first off the line out of the 25.
I haven't looked at too much Ultra Modern Football throughout the weekend, mostly because whenever I try to go to a case that has it, it's 3 to 4 people deep. And I also just haven't found anything that I couldn't buy back home at a later time. Some of the really high-end pieces are just a little bit more than I want to pay. I don't know if they'll hold their value necessarily. That's why I'm kind of staying back. And if I'm going big on one card, it's going to be baseball or something else. But I spot this Burrow downtown here at Trade Night. It's at a price that immediately off the top of my head says, hey, you know what? That's probably a pretty decent price. And I decide that I'm going to ask about a few other cards. This gentleman told me that he watches the videos, which is something that happens several times at Trade Night where people complimented me on the videos or stopped to say hello. I have to say that does mean the world to me. Whenever someone stops and says hello to tell me that they appreciate what I do, it really does stick with me, and I do keep that in mind, especially during the tough times. I had a difficult situation that came up earlier this week when I'm recording this that delayed the production of this video, and it's those encouraging words that oftentimes can help me keep going. So thank you very much to everyone who stopped to say hello or told me that they appreciated the videos, because it truly does mean a lot to me.
Oh, wow. Is that a giveaway? No, that's an insert, right?
I got room on that. It's hard finding comps, but I think there was a recent low one that is pretty far off from that.
That's out of big league.
Big league, okay.
I don't know how tough they are, but I've never seen one of these before.
It's not a lot of comps, so it's kind of like you got compared to like other players. There's not a lot of sales on that stuff because it's SSP.
Yeah. And who's opening big league?
Not me.
No.
Fine, like,
You're a Miggy guy, right? That's pop one. Number to 199.
it caught my eye before anything else.
You know, it probably won't ever be another 10.
No, not in a tribute.
With a triple patch like that. He's just calculating his head right now. We know how you work. We know. You tell your story too good. We know how you work.
That's the downside.
No, that's cool how you explain everything.
No, thank you.
This was actually a question that I got asked a couple times recently. Do I ever fear sharing, I guess, any of my secrets or how my process works through my YouTube videos? And the answer really is no, because what works for me, I don't know if it would necessarily work for anyone else. And there are so many things going through my mind that we would be here an hour if I broke down every single thing I was thinking throughout every single transaction that I make, because a lot does go through my mind. I'm trying to highlight key points as I go along and kind of show what I think might be applicable to someone else. You know, this is how I view it. These are the kind of things I'm considering, and hopefully someone else can take away from that. And that's the feedback I've really gotten on a lot of these vlogs, is that people will view these and perhaps apply some of what I say to their own situation, which is what I really hope for. I never want someone to try to be me or try to imitate what I do. I want someone to take what I say and use it to build themselves, however that may be. And that's always the intention with the video, on top of some entertainment, which does happen from time to time.
These are the ones I picked up today.
Whoa. Wow.
So coming in, I'm like, man, I want to get a 7, 8, or a 9. Half hour into the show, what's that guy, King of Cards?
Yeah.
He had a booth. And I just watched his video like 2 days ago. That was the first time I saw he had this card and worked out a deal.
So in my first national vlog for this year, I did show someone, a father-daughter team, as a matter of fact, picking up a Fleer Jordan rookie while I was negotiating on this Trout Dynasty card. And someone in the comments critiqued me for that, asking why I would show off that Trout card for 3.5 minutes to just talk about a Jordan. And I think they kind of missed the point, because the same reason that I'm showing that is the same reason that I'm showing this clip here, is that this gentleman I'm working with, he picked up this 86 Jordan. And if you can't tell just from that short clip there, that card obviously meant a lot to him. It's a card he had been after for a while. That was his goal, to come into the National and pick one up, and he did. And for me, I'm very happy for him, because I can relate to that feeling. I know what it's like to go into a show or go into a time where I'm looking for something very specific, and it happens to come together where you're able to acquire that card. I feel like that's something that's a little bit lost in the hobby, where we can't take appreciation for what others may do. Some of my really good friends picked up cards that would I personally pick up for my collection? No, because they don't really appeal to me, but I can appreciate how much they mean to those people. And that was a recurring theme throughout this show. I mean, I saw it happen twice with those Jordans, and also some cards that I ended up dealing to other people. Like, I picked up the 3 Nolan Ryan cards for the gentleman who reached out to me on Instagram. I picked up the 52 Jackie for those back pages Eric. I picked up the Bart Starr autograph for Joey Burtcat 8. And seeing what those cards meant to those people is one of the things that will forever stick with me about the 2024 National. So that's why I include those clips, is to show how much a card may mean to someone else, even though it might not be relevant to what I'm trying to purchase here.
I did this, Mahomes, and Burrow. Can we call it 800 even?
I know you expect me to count it.
What's that?
I know you're expecting me to count it.
You can if you want. I don't mind.
Can you get the 850?
I do like 820. That'd probably be my max.
825.
Sure.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Pleasure.
I'm not sure why I said 820 because I really meant to ask if he'd split the difference at 825, but sometimes I say things and I don't know why I say them. But anyways, we got the deal done at 825 for the Burrow Downtown Mahomes rookie year insert out of Optic, and then that really cool Ohtani drip card. Tough card out of Big League. I believe when I looked at the odds, they are 1 in every 3.5-ish hobby cases. I don't know what the retail odds are or if they're even available on retail, but that was cool. I at least wanted to get some football to take back with me because it is without a doubt my best seller, and I can't just completely neglect that. But I knew that I had some stuff coming in as soon as I returned back home football-wise that kind of took some of the pressure off to go out and get some football at this show. But that was the final pickup for trade night. That was a really cool interaction to end it with. So Eric and I kind of decided to wave the white flag after that and head back to the hotel room for the final day of the show. It was great meeting this gentleman, great meeting a lot of the people who I met at trade night here. And day 5 of the show won't have as many clips. I didn't really do too much there. A lot of the, I guess, reflecting on the show, talking about what I liked and what I didn't like from it. But I'll have that out sometime within the next few days, probably. Thanks so much for watching today. Take care, stay safe, be kind.